Happy Strokeversary to me. Or is it? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back. First, I want to say if you like this, if it touches you, if you believe it or don't believe it, please subscribe, like it, share the video, and let's make the world aware of strokeness because this is Stroke Awareness Week. Now, I apologize for the ambient noise because while the cars are outside, you might hear a school bus or two, and that's because it is a gorgeous, gorgeous day here. It's 68 degrees with a nice breeze. I'd take this kind of weather all year round. So I'm leaving the windows open, get that cross breeze going. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Today's an important day. It marks 2 years since my stroke. So it's my 2-year strokeversary, if you want to put it. That's the term that a lot of people are using now. Now it seems at times a lot longer than 2 years. Seems like it was ages ago. But at times it seems like it just happened last week, 2 weeks, a month ago. Just doesn't seem like 2 years. So how do you mark the anniversary of an event that nearly killed you but left you, irrevocably disabled for the rest of your life? How do you mark that day? What do you call it? Is it an anniversary? I think they should come up with another word. That's just me. Surprisingly, this is actually a common question among stroke victims as well as victims from any other type of injury or tragedy that left them, in a way, not 100% of what they used to be. Do we mourn for the life that we lost on that day and the old version of us that went with it? Or do we celebrate the fact that, hey, we lived to tell the tale? We lived through the stroke because a lot of people, it's a death sentence to them when they have a stroke. Just recently, we lost a lot of people because of strokes, a lot of famous people because of a stroke. And it's a killer. It's a killer. Those who survive are the lucky ones. It's inevitable that this day is going to stop and make me think, where was I? What was I doing? All these are pretty much easy answers. But the most important question and most important answer was, did I have any signs? And thank God the answer to that one is yes. I was able to recognize the warning signs, to know something was wrong, which a lot of people may not know. And I recognized them. And I think that's what saved my life. Because if not, I would not have been in the place I was when the massive stroke hit. And who knows where I would have been at that time. It's been an extraordinary journey and it continues to be so. I don't see it stopping anytime soon either. So it's been ups and downs, hills and valleys, but at least I can say that every day is unpredictable and every day it's just a guessing game as far as what kind of day it's going to be. Just like anybody else that's suffered a traumatic injury, especially to the brain, even this far out, 2 years, you have good days and bad days. You have days when you feel like you can walk perfectly like you did before, even though you don't and you can't. You just feel like that and you feel like you can do anything that day. And there's days where you don't even want to get out of bed. Your body hurts, and because even though it's 2 years out, it's still healing itself. So, keep that in mind, that if somebody you know or love has that's had a stroke, complains they're fatigued or tired, don't be worried. It's nothing serious, usually. But it's just a case their body needs to rest. And they tell people who have had a stroke, if you're tired, sleep. When you're not tired, get up. It's that simple. So to keep that in mind for yourself, for your loved ones, that resting is a perfectly normal action or reaction to having a stroke. In some areas like occupational therapy, not the physical therapy part because the walking is pretty much getting better, but the occupational therapy part, I feel like in the last year or the second year out, I'm doing much better than I did during the first year. I'm able to do a little bit more with my arm and my hand than I did last year. So that is a good thing. But it just goes to show you that you continue to heal after a stroke. All the experts say that usually most of your healing is done within the first year. And of course, this proves the experts wrong again. I know some will say, no, you actually always continue to get better. If little by little, you may not even notice it. Well, I noticed a big change, and I noticed a lot of things. I still can't do things, but I can do a lot more than I used to be able to, so to the experts. This day was a very dark day for my family and myself. I mean, I almost died on this day, so it's kind of, let me get back straight into the middle thing here. But should it or shouldn't it be celebrated? This is where I'm confused and where my emotions are confused. I mean, when people survive any type of a trauma or close call, do they even celebrate the anniversary on which that happened? Or do they just try to forget it or just remember the day and be done with it? I mean, there are some people who, stroke victims that, or stroke survivors, should I say, that they have parties almost like a second birthday party because they lived through it. I'm just not that person. To me, I don't know. It's kind of like telling somebody that survived, 9/11. They got out of the buildings. Happy 9/11 day. It was a very dark day, and you just don't want to do that. It's kind of how I feel about this. I mean, on one hand, I did survive to live to tell the tale, but on the other hand, I mean, it's just a dark day, and I don't know how much I want to remember that. I like the fact that I fought through it, and with the help of my wife and my family, my son primarily, I have made major steps and major hurdles, but I don't know. Just celebrating is where I'm confused. I mean, I'm asking you, should I? Should I not celebrate it? Should I just kind of observe it and not celebrate it? There, and let me know. Sorry if that made a noise, but let me know how you feel. And if you're a stroke survivor, please, by all means, let me know how you feel, because I really have mixed feelings about this. Now, I will say that I do like talking to people about this. I like answering questions, telling the story, my testimony, so to speak, and I've learned a lot about strokes in this last 2 years, and I learned a little bit about it before, but not as much when my father had a stroke back years ago. But I've learned a lot of things, and a lot of this, if you look in my videos, you can find it under my stroke information videos. It talks about how to recognize the signs of a stroke and how to prevent a stroke and a lot of things like that. So, I mean, there's a lot to learn. I love talking to people about it. I mean, I don't give any medical advice. The only medical advice I would give is, hey, go to a hospital, go to a doctor, something, if you think you're having a stroke. I just hope that in me talking about it and answering questions, I can help even just one person. That makes everything worthwhile. So if you want to see my complete story about my stroke, it's like a 5 or 6 part story. I will put the link down in the subject, in the comments section, and you can go check them out. Just feel free to browse through all my videos. Some of them are funny, some of them are, pretty much informational and straight to it. So I just want to say thank you for your time, and let me know what you think. This is Penguin. Peace out.